even before Deadpool and Wolverine came out, it already had two big jobs that it needed to accomplish. First, it needed to provide damage control and save the MCU. And second, it needed to provide a massive bump to the box office for 2024 that the box office had been sorely lacking in this year. So was it able to accomplish one, the other, both? Let's talk about it and let's find out. First, let me talk about the movie a little bit more in depth and talk about what I liked and what I did not like about Deadpool and Wolverine. I want to just start off and say that I really enjoyed the film. It's a very fun film. It's a great theater watch, a great film to watch with other people, with friends. And it's a film that you can tell there was a lot of love and a lot of care that was put into it. Is it a movie that is going to blow your mind? No, this isn't an Infinity War, this isn't an Endgame, but it is a really good film. I would liken it to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So let's talk about what I liked about it first. And to start it off, we're just going to talk about the performances, because the performances by Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are just off the charts. They're phenomenal. I love the chemistry that those two have on the screen and how they are able to bounce off of each other and play off of each other. It's so much fun to see. They're fantastic. There are a lot of cameos in the film, and I am going to go into spoilers here a little bit, so if you haven't seen it yet, consider skipping ahead probably like 2 minutes, and that way you don't get anything spoiled for you, because this is well worth, not having spoiled. There were a lot of cameos in this film. There were a lot that I liked. Definitely Henry Cavill was probably my favorite of all of them. My second favorite was Channing Tatum as Gambit. He was just so much fun. And the first time I went, I did not realize the backstory to that, where he was supposed to play Gambit in X-Men Origins Wolverine and unfortunately had to drop out of that due to a conflict. And then he had a Gambit movie that he was trying to get done at Fox that kind of lived in development hell in the 2010s before ultimately getting canceled. And so this was kind of his opportunity to come in and play the character that he always wanted to. And so having seen the film twice now, getting to see that the second time, it made that even better. I loved getting to see Laura, X-23, loved getting to see Wesley Snipes and Jennifer Garner in there. It was really fun to see all of the other cameos as well. Chris Evans as Johnny Storm was absolutely phenomenal. It was so fun to see him get to play that role again. And yeah, so talking about the cameos, that was a lot of fun. That was great. I think they did a really good job of handling the cameos and incorporating them into the story so that it made sense for them to be there. It wasn't just fluff that didn't need to be in the movie. I really liked all the music choices. The music choices were phenomenal, so much fun. The score was really good. I really liked the score. And I loved the tribute that it paid to Fox and how it didn't try and rub Fox in the ground, because they could have so easily done that. And they chose not to. They chose to really honor the legacy of the X-Men and the other characters that have existed in the Fox universe, and how that, with this transfer to Disney, I think they did the best that they could. I also really loved the end credit homage to the Fox universe and the X-Men movies. That was really beautiful to see, and just a really fun thing to be playing over the end credits. And for the most part, I really liked the cinematography. The cinematography in the MCU has felt very lackluster lately, and I really enjoyed the cinematography in this. For the most part, there were a few things that weren't super great. Okay, on to what I did not like about this. And really, it is the villains, Paradox and Cassandra Nova. They do not work as well as the villains for the other two movies have. Ajax / Francis and Cable are just better villains, period. Because you have Paradox and Cassandra, neither of them are fleshed out enough to really feel like a personal threat or have any kind of personal interest in Deadpool or Wolverine's storylines. They are just simply there to be villains. Whereas Francis threatened to kill, he took Deadpool's face and threatened to kill his girlfriend. So it made sense for Deadpool to be viciously hunting him down in the first movie. Cable has a huge part in the second one, and it's a very personal story for Deadpool. Again, he needs to help him so that he can get his time machine thing so he can go back and save his girlfriend. With this one, it just didn't have that personal touch. It didn't feel that good. And I mean, both of their performances were great. I really liked the performances by both Paradox and the actress who played Cassandra. She was very intimidating, and personally, I think if they had just stuck with her and really nailed that performance down and like written her character better, it would have elevated this film like 2 points for me. But because they didn't, it just wasn't that strong for me. She was an intimidating villain, but because she didn't have a personal attachment to Deadpool or Wolverine, it didn't really matter to me. The meta humor got to be a little too much in this film. It's always been in the Deadpool movies. It's absolutely hilarious. It kind of wore its welcome thin in this film, but it did not bother me as much the second time watching it, and maybe it's because I knew that there was a lot of that coming, and so it didn't bother me as much the second time watching it, but it was pretty annoying. It got to be annoying the first time. And then the story is just a little bloated. It could have done with some trimming. I think it could have had 10 or 15 minutes shaved off of it, and it would have just been a stronger story overall. But because we didn't have all of that, it's a little weak, it runs a little long, it slows down in some parts, and it could have been trimmed down just a little bit. I want to take a quick moment to talk about W Energy. Now, I'm a person who does not like energy drinks. I don't like the idea of putting garbage in my body. However, W is a clean energy drink that focuses on giving you the focus with no crash and no jitters. They don't have any maltodextrin fillers. They don't use artificial dyes, no sugar. They focus on giving you the boost with coffee fruit extract, which is really great. I tried some, I got it. I really like this flavor, Beach and Peach, and I have partnered with them to get a 10% off code. If you go onto their website, www.w.gg, you can get any of their flavors. I recommend Beach and Peach for 10% off using the code The Wandering Director. That's www.w.gg. Go to there and type in The Wandering Director. You can get 10% off. So is Deadpool and Wolverine going to save the MCU? The MCU is in a state of constant damage control, it feels like right now. And I think that Deadpool and Wolverine is definitely going to give audiences something to hope for the MCU going forward. But I don't think this provides a roadmap for the MCU. Similar to Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it was a good, fun movie that was a lovely swan song for certain characters, but it's not there to fix the MCU. It's there to provide an ending for certain characters' stories. Now, does Deadpool and Wolverine give me hope that the MCU can still produce good content? Yes, I think it can, and it could possibly do a good job. Does this mean I trust them enough to go watch something like Brave New World? Probably not. If it gets highly reviewed, I might go watch it, but probably not. It is giving a nice boost to the box office with it hitting almost $900 million. It'll probably hit about $1 billion by this weekend. So that's great. I'm super happy that it's doing very well for Ryan and Hugh and the rest of the actors in the film. Sean Levy, I really like him. But I don't think this is going to save the MCU. I think it's going to provide a little bit of a boost. It gives audiences encouragement of what could happen, what could be. And we'll see what happens with the MCU going forward. Overall, I would recommend going to watch Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters, and I would give the film a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.